Okay, I'm going to try to do a video that shows a number of things. One is the tie stitch, which you can see here. This is the front. I like to stitch from the back to the front, and I am right-handed, so I go counterclockwise. There are many other ways to do this. This just happens to be the way I've learned. The back of the tie stitch looks rather like this, with the nice pretty diagonals that go across. So I'm going to demonstrate the tie stitch as well as some techniques that I use for keeping my stitches tight, as well as the bundle of pine needles tightly packed. If you'll notice, and I wish you could see the tension on this, but I'm going to use a finger to try to move this little guide, and hopefully you can see that there's a little bit of resistance on my guide that is indicative of how tightly I pack the bundle. If this thing were to slide very loosely back and forth, then your bundle is not tight enough. If you're unable to move your guide easily, then your bundle is too tight. So I like to keep mine in an area where there's just a bit of snugness around the coil. So to do a tie stitch, I'm going to take my my threads, and if you'll notice, I never let tension go on my thread. So I'm going to hold it on the back, if you can see this, with this finger, all right, as I go in, and I'm going to pierce. I'm not going to pierce the coil. I'm going to go between the coils, and if you look on the back, if I can show you this, I'm going to come between these two coils with my needle. If you can see that. I don't know if the shading or the lighting is good, but I'm kind of coming between the two coils up through the front here, trying not to pierce the coils but to go between them. Now I'm going to keep this thread looped around my finger on the back in order that I can come under that thread when I come around, and I'm going to pierce on the other side of that stitch. If you can see this, all right? First I came down on the left side, now I'm going to go down on the right side. And I'm going to come between the bundles on the other side of the stitch. Now I'm able to let loose in the back, pull this up tightly across, and I like to flatten my sinew out, so I'm going to use my thumb to flatten that sinew out. Again, I'm keeping tension on this thread. I'm putting my finger on it here to keep that tension when I let go and pull the thread through on the other side. Again, I'm snugging up on it. I'm keeping it tight. I'm going to flatten my sinew out and come around that stitch one more time. I'm going to swing it around so that I'm coming between the coils on the left side of the stitch, and I'm going to go down through the coils on the right side of the stitch, forming the tie that comes across the stitch in between the two coils. That is one tie stitch. Now for inserting, and you can see now this has gotten a bit looser, okay? So I'm going to add pine needles. Notice I have not let go of the thread. In fact, I'm going to push out and keep tension on it with this finger when I bring my finger down and hold my work with my right hand. Now I can get a pine needle. I'm going to insert the blunt in with the shiny part of the needle, not the ridged side. If you can see that, I don't know if it focuses enough, but there's a ridged side and there's a smooth side of the pine needle. I'm going to grasp the pine needle down close to the end. Using these three fingers, I'm going to split the bundle and push this just far enough in to where it is snug. I'm not having to push it all the way down deep into the coil. Simply spread the coil with these three fingers, insert the blunt in until you meet some resistance, and now my pine needle bundle is tight again. So again, I'm coming around the back. This is the hard part to see. I'm going to just hold this with my finger as I come in through the left side between the coils of the next stitch and come up. And if you'll notice, when I do that, it's looped around, the thread is looped around my finger on the back, keeping tension. I'm doing this on the tie stitch so that this space right here is open for me to insert my needle, and I'm not going to go over this diagonal stitch. The diagonal stitch is going to be coming over the pierce stitch that goes through. That's just my preference. You can do it any way you want. But this keeps all of my my stitches consistent on the back as well as on the front. So now when I'm ready, once I've got the needle inserted, see, then I can just pull and let go of that loop on the back, pull up, flatten out my sinew again, pull all the way through, flatten my sinew once again. See, I've never let go of the tension. I'm coming around in between the two coils and down between the two coils on this side to create the tie. Okay? And that's what it looks like on the back. All right. Again, notice I'm not letting go of the tension. I'm always holding the tension. I've got it on my thumb here or my finger, either one, so that when I let go with my left hand to put in more pine needles, I've never let the tension drag or let the tension slack on my, oh, that was a soft pine needle. Let's try this again. Never let the tension slack on my thread. So I'm just going to insert maybe 1 or 2 needles. Make sure I'm getting them into the center of the bundle. And again, let's just I'm sorry you don't see the back very well, but hopefully you understand what I've done. Again, come around. Oops, see, I let that one go, so I've got to pull the thread up a little bit because I want to come underneath that thread. Okay. And complete the tie. All right, well, that's a little bit about how I do a tie stitch, as well as trying to keep my tension tight and my bundle tight with pine needles. So I'll try to do some more videos on just little tiny subjects here and there if anybody is interested in seeing them. So if not, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you the next time.